Hello, hello, hello. Welcome everybody to Live at the Waterhole with myself, Chad Hobson. I hope everybody's having a fantastic Friday. Sure, thought it was Saturday. Friday afternoon so far. And we did have an elephant, seems to have moved off. But just a warm welcome to you all. Just a reminder to everybody that this is a live and interactive show. So please do send through your questions and comments to us. I would love to answer as many questions as I can. You can use the hashtag WildEarth on X, or you can send through the questions on our YouTube channel. If you would like to subscribe, you can do so on the WildEarth website, or even better, download the WildEarth app from any of the app stores. Beautiful to see that the sun is finally shining. At Tembe you can hear the birds are happy in the background. Not too much happening currently at the waterhole. Jan Miller, good Friday, WildEarth, and Chad, good Friday to you. I trust you are having a fantastic Friday. It is also a very special day, the 12th of April. It's my mom's birthday. I don't think she is watching, but just a special shout out to her on her special day. Talking of it being quite sunny here at Tembe, why don't we have a look at the other locations' weather, see what is happening. It does seem like it is definitely coming towards winter quite quickly in all those temperatures in the low 20s. So maybe it's going to be a good thing for us. Maybe the animals are going to be a little bit more active. I mean, here already we've got some more elephants coming down to the water, and it's probably a little bachelor herd of elephant bulls. Joan Miller, thanks very much. Saying happy birthday to your mom, Chad. I will tell her that you say that. Arthur Miller, you're asking, is impala edible? Impala is definitely edible. I mean, to animals as well as humans. It does make some very good biltong and dry horse. You can even impala steaks are very, very good. It's not a very gamey meat. It's So I was just saying that impalas are edible. And a lot of the game reserves or lodges, if you do go and visit them, they do often serve game meat. So often impala or kudu, those are two of the most common ones that you do get to eat. I mean, it is quite nice to taste Africa also. And I was saying that it isn't too gamey, which is quite nice. Asbo, good afternoon, Chad from a chilly UK. Good afternoon to you. Hope you are keeping nice and warm. If you're at home, hopefully you've got a nice cup of coffee or tea to keep you nice and warm, and maybe a nice blanket just to keep snug. It is also quite a chilly day in Johannesburg. It's quite overcast and there's a slight breeze. Where did all our elephants go? Sugarbits, you're asking Chad, why do fish jump out of the water at Juma? It's a very good question, Sugarbits, but I mean, the only real reason that I can think of is, or two reasons. One might be to try and escape predators. So maybe there's a bigger fish that's trying to eat that smaller fish and it swims up to the surface and jumps out of the water and back in to try and get away. Or maybe coming up quite quickly to the surface to eat something on the surface. And as it then catches that, whatever it might be, does come out the water and go back in. Those are the two main reasons that I can think of. Was that a young elephant there at the back, I think? We've only seen elephant bulls at this waterhole for the last little while. And there was somebody that was asking if there are herds of elephants within Tembe, and there are herds, for sure. But it does seem like we've only seen the males around here. Tembe is also, it's quite a large reserve, and quite a lot of the northern parts of Tembe actually, it's inaccessible by vehicle. So there's actually no roads up there. So it's quite a wild area, and a lot of the time the elephants, they like to spend time up there. So maybe that's where all the herds might be. But at least we are getting to see elephant bulls, yeah. I mean, one thing you notice also about these elephants here is that a lot of their tusks are pretty long. So one of the things about Tembe is that the gene pool of the tuskers is definitely all over Tembe. I mean, that's where sort of the first tuskers were found, there and up in Kruger National Park. So a lot of the elephants do have that gene of the tusker. So it does make their tusks quite long, like a little bit thinner, but much, much longer. And I'm sure in a couple of years, probably in many a years' time, those elephants are going to hopefully grow into nice big tuskers. Young elephants, bulls always having fun with one another, always always up to a little bit of mischief, chasing one another, pushing one another around. It can always be very entertaining spending time with young elephant bulls, trying to show off. Some beautiful big elephant bulls also. I've said it before, but I think it was the biggest tusker in the southern hemisphere. His name was Isilo, and he was a elephant bull that spent a lot of time around this area here in Tembe. And I was actually fortunate enough to see him just before he did pass. I think it was 2014, late 2014 when he did pass. But if you go onto YouTube and search Isilo, you'll see the videos of him, and his tusks were so long that he actually, when he walked, he had to almost lift his head up a little bit to try and get the tusks off the ground. It was quite spectacular to see. Dawn A say, wow, those long tusks. They are pretty long. I mean, these are still young elephant bulls. So, I mean, they are still young elephant bulls, so they'll definitely still grow into those tusks. I mean, those tusks will continuously keep growing, so they're going to get much, much bigger. So I'm sure within the next 10 or 15 years, those elephants are going to be massive. Luyanda was just saying now that Isilo is how the Zulus, which is the local tribe within the northern KZN area, is how they refer to the king in Zulu. So that's was Isilo. Lots of respect for that name. Charlene McDonald, you're asking how old do the bulls get to? So elephant bulls will often live to around about 60 years old. I mean, elephant bulls and elephant cows. The thing is, so elephants, they get 6 sets of molars throughout their life. So almost every 10 years or so, those molars will wear down and the next set will then come through. And sad to say, but often what happens is that those elephant bulls, because they're living so long and they're constantly having to feed all the time, and they're feeding on quite hardy things like trees and bark and leaves and things like that, their teeth wear down. And so often older elephant bulls, you'll see they'll spend time either along a riverbed or in open grasslands, just because the nutrients that they get from the reeds or the grass is a lot more tender and a lot more soft compared to the other trees and things like that. And it's because they're trying to keep their teeth. I mean, at a certain point they'll wear so much down that they'll be unable to get the necessary nutrients. And often they can actually pass away from starvation because they are unable to chew their food and get the nutrients out. But generally speaking, around about 60 is how long an elephant will live for. Soul loves nature. He's saying, has anyone seen a matriarchal herd at Old Donyu? I personally haven't seen a herd of elephants come down to Old Donyu. It's only been elephant bulls. So it'll be interesting if anybody has seen a herd of elephants at Old Donyu. Please do let us know. Wonder if this elephant's trying to hide away from us. Not doing a very good job. Leander says he's sick of us. He doesn't want to be on camera no more. We've spoken enough about it. It is quite incredible though how elephants do just disappear. I mean, sometimes like you'll see an elephant, you'll turn your head left and then you turn it again and poof, gone. If they want to, they can be very, very silent. But then on the other hand also, if they want to, they can be pretty loud. Yeah, absolutely. If you look at this frame, it's tough to see. Like, we know that the elephant is there, but if you just come now to the screen and you look, you think, what on earth are these people looking at? And you can see an elephant right in the background, but then also that one just on the right hand side here. Sure, that side does have very beautiful tusks. Quite long and thin. Those warthogs are running away. But it does seem like this is the area to be to feed. I mean, we've seen impalas, zebra, elephants, warthogs. Spaz Lankov is saying hello. Great to begin with elephants at Tembi. Looking forward to a great show today. Indeed, it's always nice to start off with some elephants, and it's actually been a very productive waterhole the last couple of days, Tembi Elephant Park. So it's always nice to start there. Lots and lots of elephants. How beautiful. Oh, Laramo is saying the elephants in the room. Lots of elephants in this room. It's always nice to see lots of elephant bulls together. They can always be very, very entertaining. I mean, and sometimes you'll only see one elephant bull. Sometimes I think the biggest bachelor herd I've ever seen, I think, was 13 elephant bulls all together. And I mean, that's not to say that they'll always stay together. Sometimes it'll be 13, sometimes only two, because they'll wander in and out of different herds. Yeah, I mean, if an elephant bull is going into must, he'll then go and try and find a herd of elephants that it can go and potentially mate with. And so then he'll leave the bachelor herd and then be with that herd for 3-4 days and then leave again. So I mean, they don't really have a set herd that they're going to be with all the time. And if they come to a waterhole and there's other elephant bulls, you might find that they'll spend time together and then move around with them. So it's almost a very loose social structure. Those elephants are still on the go. Oh, Diane from the UK saying, hi Chad, had to tune in for your last day. Hope we have an exciting afternoon. Thanks very much, Diane. I do appreciate that. Hopefully we've had an exciting start so far, so hopefully it's just going to get better. Someone was saying that they were watching Old Donyu on YouTube one evening when they saw a family herd of elephants come to drink, but only stayed for a while when they were disturbed by an elephant bull. Well, that's very nice to know. Thanks very much that there is herds of elephants around. That was Mega Man from the UK. Sorry, thanks very much, Mega Man. I do appreciate that. Sugar, but you're asking when herds break up, when they come together later on, do they know that they are related? So, sugar bits, often you'll find that, like the related elephants, they'll often be within a small little family group. So they'll basically always stay together. But, I mean, elephants are very, very special animals, and they're very, very smart. They can remember a lot of different things. So I'm almost 100% certain that they will know that they are somewhat related or been together before and things like that, just by the scent of that specific herd. Okay, well, now that that elephant did just do a disappearing act, why don't we head over to Camphor's Dam and see what's happening there? Oh, welcome to Camphor's Dam. It does look like a beautiful day. Got some red hartebeest there in the background. Greater flamingos. And some red-knobbed coots. Those are the ones that you can hear calling, and all the ones that are swimming around. It's one of the waterholes that I do enjoy coming to and just keeping quiet. It's amazing to hear all the different bird noises and just have a look and watch what these birds are getting up to. I mean, you can see those flamingos, they're all feeding. All the red-knobbed coots are doing also exactly the same. And nice to see the red hartebeest in the background. Fiona, you're saying, what an unbelievably beautiful scene. It is indeed. Very, very beautiful. Very, like, it just makes me happy just to sit here and watch this. There's no need to talk over whatever is happening here in front of us. And just a reminder to everybody, this is live and interactive, so please do keep your questions and comments coming through using that hashtag WildEarth on X. Love to answer as many questions as possible, and let us know your thoughts, how the show is going, anything you might be thinking. Put it on there and hopefully I'll have the answer to that. Soul loves nature, a wonderful variety of colors at Campers Dam. Absolutely. Lots and lots of different colors of the birds, and those red hartebeest in the background also bringing the vibrant colors with the beautiful red. Quite amazing to watch how those flamingos are feeding. You can see they're just moving their bill in the water, their beak in the water. And they'll be feeding on algae, some small crustaceans, some shrimp, any fly larvae, or any other plants sort of matter that they can find. So apologies for that little technical glitch that we had there. I was also a little bit confused as to what was going on my screen. I said I'd heard of blue wildebeest has come down to Campers Dam. I wonder if that golden wildebeest is with them. We'll have to wait and see. Seems like there's a migration of the red-knobbed coots now, all going to the right. I wonder why they've all started to head off to the right hand side. It's a little bit strange. I do wonder what is happening there. Sugarbits, you're asking how many different waterfowl are inland in SA. So I don't know if you're just referring to the ducks, but I think there's about 15 different species of ducks that we do get within South Africa. Sure, it seems like this is definitely the place to be feeding in Camphor's Dam right now. But I wonder what did scare off all those red-knobbed coots, and they all started going off to the right-hand side. It was a little bit strange. Nick, you asking how many antelope species visit this dam. So, Nick, to be honest with you, I couldn't answer that. I mean, I've seen here, personally myself, I've seen impala, I've seen springbuck, wildebeest, red hartebeest. And I think that's about it. I'm sure there's grey dacres also that occur within this area around here. But I'm not 100% sure what else maybe they do have around this Campers Dam area. But those are the species of antelope that I've personally seen on live at the waterhole here at Campers Dam. I don't know if I said red hartebeest. Yeah, I did. You've just seen red hartebeest now. Yeah, I think we've had an incredible time here at Campers Dam. Why don't we head over to Tembe Elephant Park and see what is happening there? Beautiful big warthog. You can see how nice and lush the grass is around here. And he's actually feeding quite close to where this elephant drops its dung. Yes, it is quite old dung, but elephants, they don't really digest a lot of their food. They only digest about 30 or 40% of it. So you'll often find animals feeding out of elephant dung. You often find monkeys, baboons, warthogs, lots of birds also feed on the seeds and things like that from the dung. Beautiful. You can see those big warts on the face of this warthog, and those warts are there to protect the eyes when the males do fight. The elephant that's just walked in front there. But you can imagine, if you have a look at those tusks, they're extremely sharp. And when warthogs are fighting, that's what they will use, those big tusks of theirs. And those warts actually will protect the male's eyes from those tusks. They are very, very hard, and it stops the tusk from going into the eye. Obviously, sometimes that does happen, but a lot of the time it does protect them. It's also quite amazing, to watch warthogs feed, how they use that snout of theirs. They'll often use that to dig up any roots or bulbs that they might want to feed on. It is quite hard, so they're able to use that almost like a little shovel. They often go on their knees and then they'll use it, break open the surface and get to those bulbs and fruits and things like that. It's also quite funny when the warthogs do run, that tail of theirs goes straight up. And it's actually a follow me sign for the youngsters. So you can imagine, being quite a small warthog, they're unable to really see through the grass. So they just look up and they see the tip of that tail, and that's what they'll be following as they are probably running away from a predator, like a lion or a leopard. You don't often find cheetahs running after, or trying to catch warthogs, just because cheetahs is quite a slender, petite cat, and with those tusks of a warthog can do some serious damage to a cheetah, almost rip them open. And a cheetah not being as strong as a leopard or a lion is. Diane, you're asking what are the warts made of? So, Diane, it's just the skin. It's just sort of like hardened skin of that warthog, and so that does allow for the protection of their eyes. But it's literally just skin. It is beautiful to just sit and watch this warthog. I mean, often when you do get to see warthogs, they run off quite quickly, especially if you're on game drive. They don't seem to be too relaxed with the vehicles. Sometimes if they're in and around the lodge and feeding on the nice green grass, you can get some good views of it. But often out in the field, the warthogs do run away from the car. So nice to see a good view of this warthog. Oh, Lorimer, are you wondering what other species of pigs do that walk in on their knees? So, I mean, I know warthog does it. I know bush pig, they will also do that. You often find diggings from bush pigs, because bush pigs are more nocturnal. They're more active during the evening. There's a whole family, actually, of warthogs, yeah. Yeah, so I know warthogs do it, I know bush pigs do it. I'm not too sure if the domestic pig does do it. I'm sure they do though. And you're saying that you've never realized how warthogs kneel while grazing until wild death. Yeah, it's sometimes you'll see them digging, or they're on their knees. And I think it's just a lot easier for them, just because you can have a look and see how short and stubby their neck is. It might be easier if they maybe spend a lot of time within the area, like, for instance, this warthog. I'm quite surprised that it hasn't kneeled down. Maybe it feels as if it kneels here, it can be quite vulnerable to a predator, because it will have to go from its knees onto its feet and then run away. are those warthogs running? What are they running away from? It's almost like this warthog's uncertain of something that he's seen off in the distance. It's actually from where those other warthogs ran. Oh, no, straight back to eating. Maybe he heard something or saw some movement and was just making sure. What on earth is that? Do I need to be afraid of it, or do I not? Hear the green-backed Cameroptera calling in the background. Choo 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 choo. It's a bird you always hear up in Zululand. One bird I do miss seeing is the Narina trogon. It's a bird you find in the sand forests up in the Zululand area. They've got a beautiful red breast with a dark green back, and often if they get seen, they turn around because that obviously that red is very, very bright. They turn around and their back actually will blend into the surroundings of the forest. It can be quite difficult then to see them unless they're facing you with that red. It's quite easy to pick up, and males being a lot more bright red compared to the females being a little bit more lighter in color. Beautiful setting here at Tembi. It does seem like the action has sort of moved away from the waterhole here, so why don't we head back over to Camphor's Dam and go enjoy a bit of birding. Beautiful sounds of the birds. It's quite a hot spot for birding. I was doing some research the other day on it, and apparently they've seen 243 different species of birds in and around this Camphors Dam area. So it seems like it is quite a hot spot for birds. Quite nice, you can see all the aquatic birds and also the warblers or the birds that you'll often find up in the reeds. There's also quite a lot of grasslands in and around this area around Camphors Dam. So you'll also then get some of the grassland species. Beautiful to hear all those noises, and that's the noise of the red-knobbed coots going down and trying to fish and then coming back up. You can hear them bloop, bloop, going down, coming up. Dan, you're saying your first time seeing flamingos swim, very graceful. It's also beautiful there. It is a beautiful location here at Camphors Dam. Nice to see the flamingos swimming. I think it's maybe just easier for them to move around from point A to point B in the water if they do swim. You don't often get to see them swimming. I mean, often they will just walk, but maybe it was a little bit too deep where they were there. That's why they were swimming. Sugar Bits, I couldn't agree more. You're saying it looks like a perfect little picnic spot to relax by the water. Would be quite nice to go and sit by the water and enjoy a picnic. And just enjoy the sights and the sounds of the birds here at Camphors Dam. And who knows, you might get to see those red hartebeest, some wildebeest, springboks, all coming down to the water to drink. Having a quick scan and seeing if we see anything else interesting around the water here at Campers Dam. Oh. Always the hardy dolls. I think this also might maybe be a good fishing spot. And you can imagine the aquatic life around here. If it brings in so much bird life, there must be a huge amount of food available to them, which definitely means that there will be a huge amount of fish within this water. Just a reminder to everybody, it is live and interactive, so please do send through your questions and comments using the hashtag WildEarth on X. Or you can join the conversation on our YouTube channel. I'd love to answer any questions you might have for me. JM, you're asking what are the animals on the other side of the lake or the waterhole? So the red animals that you can see, those are red hartebeest. And then there was also a small herd of blue wildebeest that were around here. I can't see the blue wildebeest for now, but I think I can, just to the right hand side of this big group of flamingos, just behind the trees. I can see a dark shape, and I think that might be two wildebeest. Not 100% sure. Julie B is saying, afternoon chat, lovely, relaxing scene and sounds to help us wind down after a hectic week. Absolutely. I mean, after a hectic week at the office, it's always nice to just wind down with the sounds of nature. I'm glad everybody is just enjoying this nice, peaceful time we are spending here at Camphor's Dam. Does seem like the other locations are a little bit quiet, but we're going to just spend a little bit of quiet time here around Campus Dam. Okay, we are going to change it up a little bit. We're going to head over to Stony Point and see what's happening there. Brilliant. So a little bit of a change in scenery. Where we're now with the Dussies at Stony Point, and it's also another beautiful spot just to listen to the waves crashing into the rocks and watch as these Dussies just sun themselves out in the open. Looks like actually quite a young one that's sitting down on the rock just below, compared to the two that are right next to one another. Must be pretty spectacular for these Dussies to just be sitting on that rock, sunning themselves, heating themselves up. I know the Cape does get pretty cold. I wonder if it maybe is a little bit cold, and that's why these Dussies are out in the sun. Sugar Bits, only my pleasure. So thanks for a lovely and relaxing hour. It's only my pleasure. Like somebody said a little bit earlier, it's nice to just have a relaxing time after a hectic and busy week, I'm sure, in the office for a lot of people. Even if people are sitting watching in their office, just nice to have on in the background. It's the only point. So listening to the waves, it always makes me miss the ocean. Can't wait to go back. Hopefully at some point soon. Nick, to be honest with you, I'm not gonna lie, I don't have any idea of what the normal body temperature of a Dussie is. I can try to do a little bit of research. Maybe I can find an answer, but off the top of my head, would have no clue, to be honest. I'll see if I can maybe find anything for you. I think Dussies are, just trying to do a little bit of research now. Very similar temperatures to humans, around 36 degrees Celsius. That's the information that I can find. John Miller is saying, yes, the ocean, my favorite spot. Indeed, it is a beautiful spot in the ocean. I do really, really love the bush, but the ocean there's just something very special about it. And for myself, living in Johannesburg, it's not often I do get to go to the ocean, so when I do, I really do enjoy spending time on the beach. Sand between my toes, the salty hair. There's nothing better than a family holiday on the beach. Quite cute how those Dussies are scratching themselves. I mean, it's quite interesting. These dassies spend quite a lot of time here on the rocks around stony points. I mean, they feed generally on grasses and shrubs and things like that. So maybe when they do feed, there might be some grass banks around stony points, and maybe go and feed on those. But I'm sure they won't spend all their time around the rocks because, I mean, there's not too much food available to them here around the rocks. And they definitely also could feed on some, like the plant matter that's there in and around that's brought up by the waves. But there you can see there is also some greenery around, so maybe that's what these dassies are feeding on. There's lots and lots of greenery actually around. I've never personally been to Betty's Bay or Stony Point, so it's the first time for me to see it here on live at the waterhole. CWNYC, you're asking how long dassies live for? So dassies have an average lifespan of around about 10 years. So I mean it is quite a short lifespan. Sugarbit, you're asking do they have problems with sand fleas? I mean, I'm not 100% sure, but just looking at them, how they're constantly scratching themselves, looks like they can be always itchy. So maybe they do have some sand fleas, just because of the areas that they are in all the time, in and around the sand. So literally they spend their day scratching themselves. Joe Miller couldn't agree more. He's saying that the splashing of the waves so soothing. It is. I'm just sitting here in my little office, just sitting back, relaxing, enjoying this peaceful time. Absolutely, cheetahs and other animals, the babies are very, very cute. You can only imagine what a newborn Dussie must look like. I've seen a lot of Dussies in Palabora a few weeks ago, Catherine. Yeah, the rock hyraxes. You do get them in and around that area. That one looks like it's made itself a little bed. It does look like electrical cable. The seaweed that's washed up is pretty big. He's just woken up from his afternoon nap, not really sure where he is or what's happening. Where's my friends gone? Rochelle, you're saying that you love the ocean, but the smells of the bush is where you find your blood pressure drops. It is, it is very soothing also to be in the bush, and it can definitely relax you quite a lot. Also beautiful views here at Stony Point, the mountains off in the background. Corinzo, you asking, do they sleep near the beach at night time, or the animals that live in holes? So you'll often find that dussies, they will sleep in and around these rocks. So they'll sleep in and amongst like the crevices and things like that. They'll find a nice spot in there where they'll go and then rest. And they'll often spend this time within the same area. So you might find this, get into that little scratch there. So you might find that this is sort of their spot, and this is where they'll be for most of their lives. Must be quite a nice, peaceful place to live out in Betty's Bay. It's a beautiful view of the ocean. You've got the mountains. Nice, quiet area. So we are coming up to the last little bit of the show. So please do just send through your last questions and comments. We've got about 7 minutes or so left of the show. And it is going to be my last show definitely for April. We'll have to see what happens after that. But it's been an incredible time. I just want to thank everybody for all the support, even when I was at Juma. It's much appreciated. I'm glad everybody's enjoyed it so much. All the Dassies seem like they're starting to come out now. Maybe they've communicated with one another. Ghost is clear, come out. Come have a look, see what's going on. Oh, Lorimer, are you wondering if the penguins and the hyraxes ever interact? Well, I'm sure they do, because they are spending time within the same areas. So, I mean, I don't know if they interact often, but I'm sure their paths definitely do cross. And also, I mean, it's not really, they don't really need to interact with one another, because they're not competition. I mean, there's penguins feeding on fish and things like that in the ocean, as the Dassies are feeding on grass and any leafy material that they can find. Jalebi, only my pleasure. So, and Chad, thanks very much for sharing your knowledge and chuckles with us. I hope to see or hear you again soon. I'm sure it won't be too long before you do hear me again. Shazzy, it's pretty fascinating that hyraxes and elephants are related, and it's got to do with their dental structure as well as their feet structure with one another. Michelle is saying it's been good having you on Live at the Waterhole. Enjoy your time away. Thank you very much. I do appreciate it. Nike, Beck, thanks Chad. We'll miss you. Enjoy your break. Diane from the UK, bye Chad. Have to go now. Thank you for your time with us. I've loved having you. It's only my pleasure, Diane. Thank you very much. And we do have only 2 minutes left, so hope everybody enjoys this last little bit of the show. Straight after this, we'll be on safari with the 24-hour recap, and then the sunset safari. I'm sure everybody's looking forward to what the naturalists can find out there. Last little close-up of the Dassies before we do say goodbye. Thanks once again, everybody. I do appreciate all those kind words. It's been a fantastic little stint here at Wild Earth. I've enjoyed every second of it and loved interacting with all of you. I'm sure I will see you soon.
Here at Juma, although it is of course tinged with a little bit of sadness. This is On Safari. Right, well, as many of